and touchlines. Today, we are looking at the maiden edition of the FIFA Club World Cup. I think it's one tournament that has brought a lot of conversations, bad and good, about the tournament because some clubs are not getting the chance to play. And also, some are looking at the criteria in which some clubs were selected, are bringing a whole lot of conversation about this tournament. But I think I'd ask my pundits on what they think about this year's FIFA Club World Cup. Is it a good thing to do, or we should just revert back to our yearly tournament they have been playing, and some of maybe 6 teams have been getting into it? So let me start with Raf. Let's look at this season's maiden FIFA Club World Cup with 32 teams playing, and it will be run like the World Cup into a final where one team can win. Monetary-wise, there are clubs getting 200 million for participating in this tournament. And if you are to win, you are almost getting to $1 billion from this tournament. It's a huge money-making tournament for some of the clubs, especially those who need to clear their books and also other things. So let me ask you, as a Liverpool fan, your club is not playing in the FIFA Club World Cup. But looking at the tournament, do you think it's something that is good to bring all these 32 teams together, or they should go back to their old ways of playing the FIFA Club tournament?
Whoever brought this initiative for the club teams across the globe has brought a very good initiative that is going to go down as one of the greatest things to happen to football club, to some of our football clubs. I mean, who even dreamt that an Al Hilal or let's say TP Mazembe or maybe an Accra Folk, if maybe they're able to win the CAF Champions League, will be playing against the likes of Real Madrid or maybe Liverpool or Barcelona and all. I mean, this is going to help the African teams. Number two, it is also more or less like a preseason. I mean, there are some teams in other parts of the world who have not even played some European teams before. I mean, when you go to Mexico, they have some clubs there. When you go to, I mean, across the globe, every team is capable of. Al Hilal is in there. I mean, yes, I know Al Hilal have the financial powers to play, but at what point in time can they play against the Real Madrid and Manchester Cities? It is only the FIFA Club World Cup. FIFA wants to bring something whereby every club will feel involved. When they introduce a Conference League, they introduce a Europa League, I felt like they want to give every club an opportunity to play in Europe. They don't want you to feel like it's only the UEFA Champions League or only the World Cup. No. Now, the competitions are many. You put in a little effort to an European competitions, and this tournament is going to help the teams a lot. We are going to see players from South America. Bear in mind, we only get a chance to watch the South American players only when they're playing the Copa America. But this time, we'll see them in club football. We'll see the American teams, I mean the USA teams itself. There might be some players in there. So now this is going to give a lot of job to the scouts. Scouts will be there, managers will be there. Every top pundit will be there to analyze his team and analyze players. Moreover, it's also a preseason. Whilst the other teams are resting, it's a preseason and a preparatory ground for other teams to prepare for their various leagues. And the monetary aspect is also very, very impressive. Playing in this, participating alone has this amount of money. Winning has this amount of money. So I feel it's 100% for me. It's a 10 over 10 for me. The Club World Cup is coming to stay and it's going to help the teams. Yeah.
All right, so Prince, let's look at this tournament. As Raf said, it gives opportunity for clubs to be able to play with some of the teams in Europe. For example, let's look at a team like Botafogo, who is in Brazil. They'll get a chance to play with Paris Saint-Germain, who just won the Champions League. And I don't think on any other day they would have even been able to organize a friendly match between Paris Saint-Germain for maybe Paris Saint-Germain to even accept that particular invitation. So looking at the tournament in a whole, what do you think is the best solution to be able to continue this type of tournament to help some of the teams get a chance to play some of the top teams in Europe?
I think I like the fact, I like what Ralph mentioned, that it's more or less like a preseason for some of these clubs. And it's going to help, honestly, when you look at it from the monetary aspect where FIFA is going to cash out. You're also going to look at it from the point where the scouts that will come in, there are some players who get to shine in some of this tournament. There are some players, maybe the player plays in Morocco, but he gets to. There are scouts that will come in US who are going to scout all these players, who are going to make money from them. So it's a whole package all around that. We just need to look at it very well. And I think FIFA needs to structure it in a way that if there could be some sponsors coming in that could make it a long-term something, or probably a thing we'll be playing for every season. At the end of every season, we have a Club World Cup that we play. So they should bring in sponsors. They should bring in a viewership. You understand? They should create space for us to be watching some of this, because some of us who have been paying for DSTV like this, after the season ends, you don't get to watch anything till the next season again. Spice up our viewing this thing, so we don't get to feel bored once the season over. And all those coaches and some of this punditries to also be going on. There'll be things to be spoken about. At least it's not going to be a boring after season. So I honestly, this is something they should just structure it very well. So if we get to a time where they could extend the number. I think now the next World Cup, we're not going to have only 32 teams, but the numbers are more. They've added some of the numbers to it. So at least going forward with the Club World Cup, at least you get to a time where they could add some of the numbers. Then we have a Man United who will probably be 17th or 16th on the league block, but will still play for Club World Cup. So at least they should make it balanced. So at least United will feel left out. You understand? So let's just make it interesting for everyone.
Okay, Sam, looking at this tournament, and I know Prince is just trying to shade you on this tournament, but looking at this tournament, what do you think about it? Do you think it's a good initiative? And going forward, some of the clubs will also look at being part of this tournament and maybe getting to win it.
Oh, it's an amazing initiative, but just like how everything goes, there are pros and cons to everything. I think I'm looking at the side that we're having players and coaches complain last season, the last 2 seasons, that the fixtures have been too packed for these players to even get time to rest, and they need that family time and stuff like that. I think it's mostly depends on how the first season will go, because if I have my best players playing and getting hurt and not enough rest before the main season, I don't think I'll get much benefit from the whole tournament. But yes, and even though FIFA will make, let's be honest, they'll make the match money from this thing also. So these are some of the disadvantages that it will come with, because we have players that will get tired before the main season even happens. But all in all, it's a great initiative. I would like you have a child that's, or sorry for is that child, but a boy that's dreamt or only dreamt of seeing Madrid or PSG on TV next 2 days or next day, playing with them on the same pitch. It brings that euphoria that everything is possible if I try the extra mile. And it's just as Raf and Prince said, it brings a wider market for scouters also, because now you are seeing players from different variety of leagues, and they're all playing. And this tournament, if you are coming from a very low league, this is your chance to really play and shine, to make an impact or a name for yourself also. So in a nutshell, it's a good initiative. I'm just hoping that the selection wise will be based on not only effort. I don't really know how these teams were selected, but as
okay, so the teams were selected based on the last four winners, and also the teams that got into the Champions League semi-final. So across the world. So in Europe, in Africa, in every part of the world.
So being second in the league, obviously does not count. Okay. So yeah, so Prince and his team should know that being second in the league does not count for anything. And if we are to choose based on market wise, like, everyone will choose United, because the market place people. So it's I'm seeing Chelsea inside, I'm seeing City inside. I think this for Chelsea, you know the noise they can make when so it will bring that euphoria back. We will have at least something to fill that 2 months before the league starts. So we are we are hoping for an amazing World Club season. Yeah.
Okay, so to put everybody in the corner, let's look at two teams you think they will get into the final of the FIFA Club World Cup. So, Raf, which two teams do you think they would make the final of the FIFA Club World Cup?
Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid.
Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid. Okay, and who do you think would win that particular game?
Paris Saint-Germain.
Okay. So, Prince, from your side, which two teams do you think will get into the FIFA Club World Cup? I'm not expecting you to add Chelsea, but which two teams do you think will make the FIFA Club World Cup final?
Honestly, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at a different clubs coming. You know, one thing we look down on is some of these clubs have some good and potential good coaches who will come with their own philosophy and try to create something just to stop some of these big guns. You understand? So I feel like it might not be a well-known club going into the final, but we could have maybe a club from Argentina or Uruguay or this Botafogo or something going to the final and probably winning it, because this is their chance to shine. You understand? And some of these coaches will come in to try to prove like they are also better than Pep Guardiola and Arteta and things. So you get it. So at least they could also get their chance and coach some of this club. So I believe I don't see some of these top names coming into the final.
Okay, so we are looking at tipping like a random team or any team we are not expecting getting into the final.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Sam, which two teams do you think can get into the final and who are you tipping to win?
I think I support Prince on this one. I don't know why he mentioned Arteta in this conversation, but I think it's based on how coaches will prioritize this. I don't know if Alonso will push Vinicius and Rodrigo's the Alex to be at the forefront and play. I don't know if Pep will also put in the four guns to play in such a I think it will be based on how they'll prioritize this league. If they'll just see it as a means to train you or the young chaps to play, and if it's that, then I think we'll see teams that we didn't even imagine they could, because they will really take it serious, because it's more of a huge market for them, or a huge media for them to showcase themselves. So it will be more of, I think you can't really predict now until it starts. Then you really know how the coaches will line up their team, if they will bring the big guns in it, or they'll just fixing the academy players. So for me, I will sit and I think wait for it to start. Then we can.
Okay, so thank you for coming on the FIFA Club World Cup edition. We'll go more into the tournament and have a lot of discussion. There are some amazing matches coming on. We'll get Mamelodi Sundowns against